Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna finally make the much anticipated Heat video. This is a long time coming. You guys know we always have to drop the Heat video once in a while, and that's our native team, so we gotta start it up.
To put this in the context, you got to go back to the beginning of the season, or even in the free agency, right after they lost Gibbons and Mike Strus. I remember calling out it like, bro, the Heat don't get Lillard. What's going on, bro?
Yep.
Like they're losing everybody. They don't pick up Kelly Oubre or Christian Wood, other people that were in conversations for them. How stupid am I for once again counting them out? And you really just can't. And this year they have come out with possibly their best team out of the past few years. What you say?
Maybe I would say I think the talent is crazy deep. I think the Heat over the past few years they've done a really good job drafting. They really haven't had any misses. Obviously, we know what they've done with the kind of the undrafted players. That's kind of what they're known for. But I think with the players that they've also drafted, I think they've done a really good job. And they come in and just fit in perfectly because they know exactly what they're looking for. They're not necessarily looking for talent. They're looking for hard workers, good work ethic, stuff like that. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, how good somebody else in college for longer than normal has come in. Maybe doesn't have the highest potential, but he has come in ready. But like he really doesn't look like he's been there for years. It doesn't look like he will get all. I think playing with Butler has helped him out a lot. Just playing with Eric Spoelstra, obviously. And man, that guy has been amazing. That's somebody we gotta give all the flowers to. Has shocked me. I barely knew who he was, but he has shown early he can shoot. He has moves in the paint. His footwork is amazing. And I could see him generally making a big difference with the Heat in the playoffs.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Gordon Hayward, just an all-around player.
Just talking a bit about Butler. Butler this year playing, it really does feel like he follows the same script every year. He starts off slow, sometimes so slow like this year he doesn't make the All-Star game. But now he's averaging around 26 points per game ever since the All-Star break passed. And he's shooting really good from three, or really good from his standards. I was watching the game yesterday and I saw he has hit a three in 15 games in a row, which is good because it really did feel like his three kind of like disappeared.
Yeah, ever since the Sixers. Yeah, I think it's because he had like a hand injury.
Yeah,
but little by little we've noticed it went down, but little by little it's been going up. Until this season,
I
think this season it's just straight up in his bag right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. On Bam, the offensive back just keeps getting bigger. You see him generally getting in the post, doing spin moves, doing fadeaways. And the confidence, it seems to be there, which is Bam's biggest critique. You know, we all know how good the defense is. Top 3 defender in the NBA, I would say every single time.
Yeah.
But if he can be aggressive in the playoffs, with Butler playing the way that he always does in the playoffs, with Tyler Hero, who keeps being a little bit too injured for my liking, but hopefully he can get healthy to the playoffs. And then Terry Rozier, somebody we gotta talk about. Talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, man. Terry Rozier, that's a pickup that I loved. As soon as they got Terry Rozier, for me, I literally said it. This to me makes him a contender because he is the perfect player that I've been wanting them to get for years. And I think that is perfect for the Heat because I think he complements Jimmy and Bam really well. And he's also a good defender. He can playmake. We saw he's having his best playmaking season, especially with the Hornets. He struggled a bit at first, and we talked about it. It was more of one of those things like, oh my gosh, this is like the team that I grew up loving. Obviously, I was a Dwayne Wade fan, type of thing. So I felt like he got into his own head. He was being a bit too passive. We see that with players sometimes, but now he's picking it up. He's playing way better. He's helped them win a few games, and I think he's the perfect player for them, and I think he really takes them over the top.
But moving on from that, 2 other players that I got to give a lot of credit to. Our star, Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson, when he got that contract and he started underperforming, everybody started clowning the Heat. But one thing about the Heat, bros, that they don't give up on their players. Duncan Robinson has continued to work hard, and what he did is that he noticed like he was figured out. Defense hadn't figured out completely, but now you see him passing the ball better, driving in better. Yesterday we saw him cross somebody over and do like a reverse layup. I was like, what the hell? And he said it, bro. I worked hard on my game to get to his level, to be playable again, to make my 3-point shooting valuable again.
Yeah, that's a guy I really want to talk about because he's a guy that I was always a big fan of. Obviously, he has a really nice story. Obviously, he was undrafted and stuff like that. But I think with him, the fact that he was a starter in a finals team, going from that to like getting benched to literally last year not getting minutes up until the playoffs again, and now once again he's showing his potential. He's showing how good he is. I gotta give him a lot of credit. That shows his hard work, that shows his dedication, and that shows that, like you said, the Miami Heat continue to believe in their players. And I just gotta give a huge round of applause to Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, and the other player is Caleb Martin, who last year, and especially in the Boston series, played amazing. Some people wanted to get the Conference Finals MVP. And this year he started a bit slow too. I think he has some injuries, but once again he's picking that up. You notice that we just talked about like 7 players. The Heat are deep, bro. The Heat, a team that we usually think, oh, they have like a bunch. They have to bring out people from the street like Highsmith and Jamal Cain. Highsmith is actually a real player at this point, but they did bring him out of nowhere. The Heat have a lot of players, bro. Caleb Martin is a real shot creator. And dude, I had no idea he was good.
Someone that I gotta give a huge credit for, because I think Heat fans will kill us, like our Heat friends will kill us if we don't mention, is Nikola Jovic. That guy, Heat fans have been riding. Man, I gotta give a huge shout out to him. I think he really fits nicely into that starting lineup as kind of like that big who can stretch the floor out. I'm just happy that he's getting the opportunity now. He's starting. The starting lineup makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of offense there. Obviously, you got the defense with Jimmy, Terry, and Bam. Got the offense from the other players.
Dude, I think right now, with Hero, if Hero comes off the bench, the starting lineup makes so much sense.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I've heard a lot of people say that a big reason why the Heat got Terry Rozier is actually because they can see themselves eventually getting rid of Tyler Hero. And Tyler Hero obviously has a big contract. Like you said, he's injury prone. Not that he's inconsistent, but I feel like out of everybody in that Heat core, maybe it's just me, but I've always felt like he doesn't necessarily fit. Maybe I'm wrong with that.
I get what you're saying. A lot of Miami fans actually say the Heat are better without Tyler Hero.
They got to the finals last year.
That's a big narrative that is pushed. One of our friends, Avo, he's always posting like, "Oh, the Heat won because Hero didn't play." I don't take it that far. I do not hear out a lot, especially in the clutch. I've seen him hit a lot of big shots, but I could see it, man. I could definitely see it if the Heat go ahead and lose, and they might just move on with Terry Rozier instead of Hero.
I would say, and we've talked about it, personally. I think the perfect role for Tyler Hero is that 6-man role. I think
at least with this thing,
and I think the team would actually get a little bit better if you do that. But I think after all he's done, I don't know if they're willing to do that.
It might be one of those things that is either start him or trade him eventually.
Yeah.
Which we'll see. I guess we'll see this summer. The last person that we got to give a lot of credit to is Eric Spoelstra, the heart of the team, the engine of the team. And I just gotta give him a lot of credit. But best coach in the NBA is just absolutely like what negative thing can you say about Eric Spoelstra?
If you guys know anything about me, you guys know that he's my favorite coach. I think he's the greatest coach of all time. I know that seems like a hot take, and I've talked about it before. I genuinely think the Eric Spoelstra that we're watching is the greatest coach of all time. He still needs accolades. He still needs that coach of the year. He still needs a few more championships. But he's young as hell, so he can definitely continue winning.
And he has 2 championships, bro.
This man's mind is like something I've never seen before. The way he analyzed the game, the way that he goes about in the locker room with the players, the way he treats his players, the way that he knows exactly what to say and how to say it. Because some coaches, you can be smart, but you don't know how to communicate what you need. Some coaches like that. Some coaches can only do that. He's really that perfect package. He knows how to use all his players perfectly. He knows what he needs of certain players. If a player has a deficiency, you never really see that get exposed. Like, how many pick and rolls do they put Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero in? And that he continued to win. Because he knows how to use these players. I genuinely think, and I've thought this for a minute, I know it's a hot take, I understand. But I genuinely do think Eric Spoelstra is the greatest coach of all time.
But I'm not gonna say you're crazy for saying that, because what I've seen this man do is incredible. These past 4 years, at this point 5 years of Butler, have been one of the most impressive stretches in any team's history, I would say. Because nobody thought that he were gonna make the finals that first year. Nobody thought that he were gonna make the finals last year, but they did. And when Butler came to our team, he was seen as like locker room cancer.
Yep.
People are talking about how tough he was to handle, and I think people are exaggerating. Everybody called him a madman, but the fact that Butler has so willingly like accepted Eric Spoelstra's leadership speaks volumes to how good of a coach he is. The Wayne Wade and LeBron James back in the day, Wade has also had like a tough personality, and LeBron wanted him fired. It was the only coach he was not able to get fired. All the credit in the world to him. Best coach of all time. I don't know too much when it comes to coaches, but like the best coach that I've seen.
Yeah, I get you. Now let's move on to some of the things that worry us a little bit about the Heat.
Okay, so the biggest thing that scares me is, as a Heat fan, is making to the finals and losing again. There's always that fear that Butler is gonna get burned out, because he does become the hero in the playoffs, but we do see that towards the end. Especially last year, he got a bad injury against the Knicks, and Butler's also a little bit injury prone. We have seen him get a lot of small ankle injuries and stuff like that, hold him back. And at the end of the day, the offense, that was the biggest scare. Is Bam gonna be as aggressive as it needs to be? I know we talked about it, but Rozier is the person that can really push them over the top.
Maybe even Tyler too.
Yes, Tyler and Rozier, if they can figure something out, that they take turns. If you can let Butler take more of a rest, you know what? Let Butler have those big performances in the finals. in the conference finals, not in the
Not in the first round.
Not in the first round. Thankfully, they have a chance of being the 5th seed and maybe going against the Cavaliers or Knicks. The two matches are still the Bucks and the Celtics. That's what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna come down to the Heat, the Bucks, and the Celtics. And the Bucks, we know that he have had the number for a while now, but I really do think that Lillard is gonna put that into question.
I genuinely think that the Heat own the East mentally. It's not even talent-wise. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like a mental hurdle for other teams that they have to get over the Heat.
Kind of like what LeBron had on the East back then.
Yeah, exactly. And say whatever you want to say, but I think the Celtics and the Bucks are scared of the Heat, man.
Especially the Bucks. I think that the Bucks, the Heat have embarrassed them. The Celtics is always been close. The Celtics beat them once, that one time. But I think last year, bro, like even the Celtics almost came back and beat them. But the Bucks, it's been 4-1 twice. Last year was embarrassing itself for the Bucks. Dude, that match was gonna be fun, bro. Thinking about Lillard, the team that he wanted to be at. Once again, 3rd time in like 4 years they're going against each other. 4th time actually. 4th time they go against each other. I think that he can be the Bucks. I can't say with certainty. The big question is the Celtics because they might just be too good at this point.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend Henry about that. He genuinely thinks that he's not scared of them at all.
Of the Bucks?
Yeah, no, of the Celtics. He's not scared of them at all. He really thinks that they have a lot of deficiencies, especially in the bench. He thinks that they only have like 6 players that they can play, which is true. But in the playoffs, we know that gets limited. My biggest thing with the Celtics, and we said it in the video recently, is probably the injuries to Porzingis and stuff. I think if the Celtics play to their potential, they should be the Heat. I don't even think it should be a question because the talent is obviously better.
Honestly, I think that's a bad take saying that he's not scared at all.
Yeah, but you know how he is.
Yeah, that's a push. Because the Celtics almost beat us last year, and the Celtics did beat us like 2 years ago. So
and they are better, way better now.
The Celtics are way better than the Heat right now, talent-wise. Yeah. The Celtics are better than the whole NBA, even the Nuggets, talent-wise. Yeah. But even then, like I was saying, there's a reason that we still give the Heat a chance. Is because I trust Butler and Eric Spoelstra way more than Tatum and Brown and Joe Mazzulla at the end of the day. And the rest of the Heat team, it really depends night to night. But all I need is just give me Eric Spoelstra and Butler, and you have a chance against anybody. I know there's something to be said about making it to the finals, especially us as LeBron fans. I think discrediting a team that made it all to the finals just because they lost is wrong. Yeah. Like I think Butler should get the credit for being a 2-time finals loser. As funny as that sounds.
Definitely, especially because he had such a big impact of getting them to the finals. Like he really worked his ass off to get them there, and they just went into the 2 times that they got to the finals, they went against the 2, in my opinion, the 2 clear-cut best teams and horrible matches for them. A big part of that is the backup center and just another center. Heat fans for a minute, all of our Heat fans I'm talking about years, they've been screaming the Heat need a center, the Heat need a center, the Heat need a center.
Like down put down power forward.
They always say that. They're always saying that. But I think they definitely need a backup center. And this year, they plain and simply just don't have a backup center. They just don't. Like
not even close.
Not even close because it's Kevin Love. Shout out to Kevin Love.
Thomas Bryant has.
Because Thomas Bryant has just been nothing. A few other things real quick to say. They just got Patty Mills. I think him and DeLon Wright can kind of take that backup point guard role depending on the matchup. DeLon Wright is more of that defender, passer. Patty Mills more of that scorer, shooter.
Also, Josh Richardson, but Josh Richardson is now out for the year.
Yeah.
Speedy recovery for him.
But that was really like the only other thing that we wanted to mention just because it happened recently. Not the biggest news. Obviously, we're not going to make a video about it. Just give us your thoughts about the Heat down in the comments below. Do you think they can make it to the finals again? Do you think they can win a championship? And do you think they're better than the Celtics? I think these are important questions that we need to answer, so we would love to know what you guys think. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe.
Peace out.